show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Praises be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Lord of the worlds. Peace and blessings be upon our last messenger, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Peace upon him, to all the prophets before him, to his beloved families, and also to all his respected companions. Welcome the panelists to our program, and also participants and online participants. Welcome to RTD Roundtable discussion program, which is designed during International Conference on Teacher Education, organized by Kelantan State Government, supported by some educational institutions in realizing the selected themes, bolstering teachers of tomorrow today. Welcome everyone to a roundtable discussion. I am Madam Norma Binti Yusof, a lecturer from Sultan Ismail Petra International Islamic University College. Is given the opportunity to be the moderator for a roundtable discussion today. Praise be to Allah. Yeah? Alhamdulillah. There are 3 panelists with us. We invited from 3 different countries to talk about the topic which has been selected as challenges and solutions of teachers in generating future generations. To begin with, let me introduce our panelists. The first panelist is Dr. Abdul Hadi Makdawi. He is a distinguished senior lecturer at Department of Educational Technology and Multimedia, Institute of Teacher Education, Ipoh Campus, Perak, Malaysia. He is also an instructional coach from ICTE'22, Kansas, the United States of America. He obtained his PhD in Multimedia and IT Education from University Science Malaysia. He has vast experience in a technical part. He is a technical teacher with specialization in mechanical engineering studies. And he has been in technical secondary school since 1992. He has been attached to Institute of Teacher Education upon his completing his PhD. He actively involves in various IPGM initiatives such as pedagogical capacity for deep learning, instructional coach, classroom assessment as task force, educational researchers, and also writing and presenting many papers at local and international level. Dr. Abdul Hadi currently is a Senate member of Institute of Teacher Education Malaysia, and he is the Vice President of Malaysian Educational Technology Association. Welcome, Dr. Hadi.
Okay,
Nice
thank
to have
you.
you with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. The second panelist for our program today is Madam Marit Rosit from Finland. Madam
Good
Marit
morning.
Rosit, good morning. Um, Madam Marit Rosit, you are um, a math teacher. Yeah, she is a math teacher and principal in Finnish education. Okay, her passion is to change math into student-centered learning. Yeah, and as principal, she advises schools globally. She is an author of 10 math textbooks, and she is the CEO of a Pasto Math Company. Yes, she was one of top 10 finalists in Global Teacher Prize, which opened doors for her to contribute around the world. Now, she is educating teachers and giving lectures globally. In fact, yeah, last week, Madam Marit Rosit, you were in New York. Welcome, Madam Marit Rosit, to our program. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And our third panelist from our neighbor country, Madam Khairiana Zainal Abidin. Madam Khairiana, uh, Madam Khairiana is the principal of Madrasah Al Junaid Al Islamiyah since 2018. She started as an educator to begin with in madrasah, and she then had the opportunity to be groomed as a department leader, vice principal, and currently she is holding the school leadership. She graduated from National University of Singapore in mathematics also, yeah, and had a master in education, specializing in curriculum, teaching and learning, yeah, from uh, National Institute of Education, Nanyang Technology University in Singapore. Her passions for continuous learning made her believe that seeking knowledge will never end, and educators should continuously be equipped, yeah, with a knowledge that will benefit learners under their charge. Her first journal, co-authored with Dr. George Jacob, was published in July 2011, entitled Cooperative Learning's Impact on Teaching and Learning at a Singapore Madrasah. Welcome, Madam Khairiana. Nice to have you to be with us today.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we go now to our first round. Yeah, everyone believes teaching is not a teaching is a noble profession. Yeah, yet teachers have many tasks to perform. Their roles are not only restricted to teaching and learning, but also in nurturing students to prosper a balanced life. At the same time, teachers involved in administrative work and Also, they need to entertain parents. Okay, due to these facts, we bring to you today the discussion on challenges and solutions of teachers in generating future generation. Let's move on to our discussion. For the first round, Madam Khariana will get her turn. She will begin talking about issues in her country. What are the most challenging issues faced by teachers in Singapore, Madam Khariana? Okay, please go on with your discussion.
Thank you so much. Please allow me to share my screen first. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
But it's a full
Khariana.
screen?
One screen, one slide only.
One slide only. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, thank you so much to the organizer for inviting me. Please allow me to introduce myself first. I'm the principal of Madrasah Al-Junaid from 2018 to current, as shared by Madam Norma. I have a first degree in mathematics, diploma in Al-Quran and Sunnah from Aki, Malaysia. So I'm also a student of Malaysian. Yeah, a diploma in education from Edith Cowan University, and I got my diploma in management, master's in education in 2010, and a postgrad diploma in Islamic thoughts and civilization from IIUM 2015. My first published article or article is co-authored with Dr. George Jacob in 2011, and also another co-authored journal with Dr. George Jacob in 2017. Let us get into the questions or the issues that we're going to discuss today, inshallah. What are among the most challenging issues faced by teachers in Singapore? Allow me to start this by sharing some of the issues that faced by teachers in Singapore. It varies from first understanding the different potentials and needs of the students. The well-being and mental health of students are also of importance to us now, managing and motivating the underperformed students. But basically, today's discussion will discuss more on the new normal, which is the digital literacy competencies. Let me start with a saying by Ms. Tamun Si, the Executive Director of Academy of Singapore Teachers, on tackling current and future challenges of education, where she said that technology will feature heavily in the future of education. The challenge will be for our teachers to unlock the potential of new technologies and with it, find new ways to teach and learn. Taking from this caption by Ms. Tam, I would like to focus our discussion pertaining to issues in Singapore, looking into the case study or what has been experienced by Madrasah Al-Junaid. I will touch more on what best practice that we have done, what we have gone through in facing these challenges and looking into these issues. And I will touch a bit also on the practices of MOE schools where necessary. But before that, let me share with you a bit of information on Madrasah Al-Junaid, so the audience or my fellow teachers can actually understand us more. Madrasah Al-Junaid is founded in 1927, and we are the second oldest madrasah among six full-time madrasah in Singapore, which means this year we are already 96 years old. Inshallah, a co-ed private institution certified by Ministry of Education of Singapore, and currently we have 526 students and 70 staff. What we did was the school offer a dual curriculum. We have both Islamic education accredited by University of Al-Azhar, Cairo, Egypt, and also we have the national or international curriculum where we offer Cambridge O-level and also international baccalaureate in terms of the diploma program. So, what are among the most challenging issues faced by teachers in Singapore and pertaining to Madrasah Al-Junaid Islamiyah? Let me share with you the whole story where COVID-19 struck us in 2020. So when that happens, schools in Singapore and even madrasa were made to do HBL. So I share with you some of the pictures of our HBL students doing HBL. Yeah, that calls for an immediate necessity to use our online platform like Zoom, Google Meet, and MS Team. And with this quick change, it actually adds stress and anxiety, not only to the school management, but to the teachers, students, and parents. And I think teachers all over the world are facing this too. So, what was the immediate action that was done at that time for Madrasah Al Junaid is we even have to provide just in time learning for the teachers through peer coaching and also mentoring. Uh, what are the new technologies that teachers need to unlock actually? Right, I refer to this website by www.teachthought.com. These are some of the areas that we should actually look at for future educational technologies. For example, like virtual reality, asynchronous learning and micro learning, live streaming, AIs. AIs is going to be like, for example, you can even have a robot tutor to teach your children actually. Social learning, games and simulations, and robotics. So these are among the 10 educational technologies that were shared. We understand that this is a lot, but I think this is not about looking into all, but actually as a whole, what are the competencies, what are needed for us to ensure that we are ready for these new technologies. So what are the impacts to our educators and also our institution? I believe first of all, strike directly will be our teachers in terms of their e-pedagogy. They will need to have a different modes of teaching, and they have to leverage technology in teaching practices, which will enable more innovative and engaging teaching methods and learning experiences. Secondly, we might even need to look into learning management system, which is a one portal for all, like for example, ebook, etc. The change of role of teachers has to take place. Teachers might become facilitators and collaborators. We need to upgrade the infrastructure and also the purchase of digital resources, and that costs funding to take place. And finally, the readiness of students in terms of competencies and resources. Inshallah, in my next session, I shall discuss further on how Madrasah Al Junaid take the step of solving this issue and moving forward, inshallah. So I will end my round one first. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thank you
much,
very much,
Madam
Madam
Khairiana,
Viriana,
for
for
sharing the
sharing the
problems
problems
which are
which are
faced there
faced there
in
in
Singapore, in
Singapore,
your
in your
institution.
institution.
Okay,
Okay,
we next
we
are
next
going to listen to obstacles faced by Malaysian. Yeah, Dr. Hadi, please, what are the most challenging problems faced by Malaysian, our country? Please, Doctor.
Right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Uh, Thank you very much, Madam Norma Binti Gusto of Sultan Ismail Putra International Islamic University College, Malaysia, as the moderator. Uh, can you hear my voice?
Yes, your voice is clear enough.
All right, all right. All right, Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon here now, afternoon, impendent morning. uh, to distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and to Madam Mary Rossi, Global Teacher Prize of Finland, as well as Madam Khairiana Zainal Abidin, Khairana Zainal Abidin, Principal of Madrasah Al Junaid Al Islamiyah, Singapore. First of all, thank you very much to the second ICTE committee or organizer for inviting me to this roundtable discussion. It is an uh, honor to be in this discussion. Uh, okay, a brief information about me. Uh, at present, as mentioned by Madam Norma just now, I'm attached to Institute of Teacher Education in Campus, Perak, Malaysia. Uh, Even though I'm attached in the institute, I'm also a teacher. Yeah. Uh, so I have direct responsibility in shaping the future generation, similar to other teachers in Malaysia. So the topic for this roundtable discussion, the challenges and solution of teachers in shaping our future generation is quite uh, close and significant to me. And back to the question regarding the challenges of teachers in shaping our future generation. Uh, in my point of view, uh, in Malaysia, especially, the most challenging thing for teachers in shaping our future generation is to prepare the student to be the future ready student. Our student future is an uncertain one. Their workforce will look much different than ours. No wonder nowadays teachers having a daunt, daunting task. It is our job to help a student prepare for a workforce that we cannot describe uh, today. So when we look around us nowadays, people have job that we couldn't dream or imagine of several years ago. For instance, managing social media for companies, arranging work from home or commuting, uh, hailing. Yes. Now we look very easy look to the Grab, Food Panda, or and so forth, and many more. For instance, uh, in order for students to be prepared to enter their future workforce, especially for students in Malaysia, they must be they must have a deep understanding of and be able to apply content knowledge. At present, they only most of our students only focus on superficial knowledge and lack of soft skills such as communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creative thinking skill. There is no doubt that academic content knowledge is part of a recipe for success, but information on its own will not be enough to help young adults successfully navigate and succeed in an ever-changing work landscape. Therefore, the students need to master deep learning. All right. Actually, I have a slide to share with the audience. Can we share the slide, please? My slides not
No,
appear on the screen.
not yet. We only have the banner.
Okay, never mind. I continue my explanation regarding the deep learning. All right, based on Fuller and Langworthy. All right. Oh, thank you, thank you. Now my slide appear in the screen. It's on the screen already. Okay. This is a slide for to explain the deep learning uh, is. Okay, based on Fullen and Langworthy, 2014, deep learning refers to develop the learning, creating, and doing disposition that young people need to thrive now and in their future. By acquiring deep learning, the students are able to create new knowledge and skill based on what they have learned in order to solve their own problem in the real world by implementing pedagogy capacity. Students and teachers discover together content together with their student or learners and by using the ubiquitous technology. Uh, then Fullen, Queen, and McEachin uh, at the year 2018 has had described that the deep learning comprise six elements of global competency, such as character, citizenship, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creative thinking. Uh, Okay, these elements are the prerequisite survival skill for students to be future-ready students. This would be the greatest challenge for the teachers in order to enhance the learning progression of six elements of global competency among our students, especially in Malaysian context. So, in short, the in the deep learning and global competency of six C's are the knowledge and skill needed for the future and preparing the future ready student. Therefore, the most challenging for the challenging thing for teachers is to achieve the deep learning and the six element of global competency among students. So that's about the deep learning. Then the next round, I will go deeper and share the solutions, my suggestion how to solve uh, this matter. Thank you,
Thank,
Miss Madam Norma.
okay, thank you very much, Dr. Abdul Hadi, in presenting a good knowledge on deep learning to us. Okay, next we are going to continue by inviting the third panelist from Scandinavian region, Madam Marit Roset, to discuss obstacle faced by teachers in her country, Finland. Yeah. Yes, Madam Marit Roset, what are the most challenging obstacles faced up by teachers in Finland? In Finland, your country. Yes, go ahead, Madam.
Thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes, your
Okay.
voice is well.
So, really good morning from Finland, and I feel very honorable to be invited to your panel. Thank you. First, I want to say something about the Finnish education, because when I have been traveling around the world, I have noticed that our education differs in some points a lot from the others. And maybe one of the biggest difference is that our education is free. And what it means that you can study to the level until even to university level free if you want and you have this capacity. It also means that students, they have free lunch, free transport, free healthcare. And also, second difference, I think, what is compared from many countries, that the teachers have very high education. Everybody on master's degree. Even in the kindergarten, there are some who have master's degree. And then the third one, which I think is very big, is the we have a huge autonomy for the teachers. So the trust that teachers are doing really high quality teaching is because of our high education. But this system was not always this like. So it was also so that earlier we have to pay for training, education, and some were public. But it happened, the change 1917, when the politicians were so brave that they thought that the nation is so small that we have to get best education to everybody if we want to if we want to be good in this world of competition. And actually, I think we have been very successful. Our society is quite known and we have a nice living of standard, but of course the world is changing, and now I come the difficulties what we have now noticed. So because we want everybody education, it means one school to all. And earlier we had special classes for the students who have more than normal learning problems. But now there is the philosophy of inclusion, and it means that everybody can come to the school even they have some or a strong learning problems. So now the teachers are feeling that in the classroom there are so many different students that the demands of giving individual learning experience has come to the teachers even very stressful. Because we have been trained to give the best possible education to every child. Now we are in the moment that the teachers are tired, can be tired, because they feel that they can't teach everybody on their level because there is so huge differences in the classroom. And earlier those students, they were maybe even in their own school, or at least they have a group inside the school where they could get support they needed. So I think we are now in the moment of that something has to be done, and I don't know what it will be. I know some ideas. And what is maybe different also from other countries, that we change curriculum every 10th years. So now, last time it was 2014, so probably some of the solution will be written also in the new curriculum. Thank you.
Said, telling us good school systems that you have over there. Yeah, but beside that, there's still some things need to be taken care of. That is problems for the teachers. Okay, thank you very much, Madam Marit Rose. So we have heard some crucial obstacles in different countries, in Singapore, in Malaysia, and also in Finland. Yeah, the issues of technological barriers and home blended learning in Singapore. Yeah, the issues of new pedagogies for deep learning that we have in Malaysia, and also the issues of inclusive learning, yeah, due to the one school for all. Then the teachers are full of stress. Yes, stressful teachers over there. And of course, we know that every problems has solutions. Yeah, and then as we know that normally when we have problems, then some research had been done, yeah, to see what can be done to the problems. So now we are going to go to second round to see what are possible solutions that can be implemented or can be used to overcome the mentioned obstacles, yeah, that has been described by panelists earlier. Okay, for the second round, uh, Madam Marit Rose said you will got your turn first this time. Yeah, we switch the position.
Thank you.
Is that all right, Madam?
Thank you very much.
Yes, please
So
go on.
solutions, what we have done, and what we will need. I think one solution is that nowadays we build a lot of new schools, and even in the school structure, we take more attention to the active learning, what Dr. Hadi mentioned. So it means that if you compare old school buildings, there were a lot of corridors and classrooms, and the thinking of what learning theory is based on is that you just put the children in the classroom, you give the information, and that would be so easy. So the behavioristic learning theory was also seen in the building architecture. So now if you visit in the Finnish schools, the buildings are totally different. There are more open areas, there are more tiny places. So, for example, there can be three teachers together who maybe start the teaching, giving 15, 20 minutes, and then they chair the group on the basis of what they think is best to this group. And there they can take attention to those who are faster and those who are more needed help. And so the size of the groups are also different. And and even then the students can study in the corridors, so it's not anymore one place. And I think this is one very interesting way to look in the future. The second is, of course, teacher training. So even teachers are highly trained. Every school is training them also during the school year. And some teachers, they say that this is the area I need help. Can I get training on this area? So it's also individual for the teachers, so that the principal supports as much as possible the training of the teachers. I think what maybe teachers now most are waiting is that we should consider that is the model what now is like a little bit fashion, is it the best one, or can we make some taking some good parts from the old one and good parts from the new one? And I think this is very important time to discuss in the society. And then I think solutions can be done on the national level. If you think about the curriculum, then they can be done in the municipality level. And of course, most important is the school level and the role of the principal. As I have been a principal and also my colleague now here, we know how important role is the principal.
Yes.
So I think these are now maybe the main solutions. I hope there is also more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Marit Rosette, for sharing the possible solution to overcome the problems that you have in your country. Okay, the second, yeah, the second for the round two here is Dr. Abdul Hadi. Okay, please mention your discussion on solving the problem that has been mentioned earlier. Yes, go ahead, Doctor.
Thank you, Madam Norma. Okay. All right. As I mentioned earlier, uh, the challenge faced by the teachers is to ensure the student able to achieve what we call the deep learning. So now, what should we do? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I will try to explain. This is my suggestion. Actually, the teachers right now can keep teaching as if the world is static and will always look like it did for them previously. The teachers should transform the pedagogical practices from all pedagogies to the new pedagogies. Uh, the way how to enhance the deep learning and competency global of the 6 C's is by implementing the pedagogy capacity or new pedagogy for deep learning. Uh, okay. Uh, okay. To implement the pedagogical capacity for deep learning, the teachers are suggested to unpack the curriculum standards in order to identify the teacher clarity so that the teacher will be familiar with the concept of clarity. Then, beside unpack the curriculum, the teacher can work together among their colleagues to teach their student huh, uh, based on certain what we call the big idea or theme. I think the idea is similar with Madam uh, Rossi said in Finland, where the teacher working together to teach the same subject just now. Okay, apart from the clarity, then based on the deep learning framework, uh, I have a framework here to share with you. Yeah, this I got from Michael Fullen, yeah, the founder of Capacity Pedagogy of Deep Learning. Okay, this uh, based on deep learning framework, as suggested by Quinn, McEachin, Fullen, Gardner, and Rami at year 2020. The main focus of the framework is global competency. Global competency. These competencies refer as indicators of deep learning. The global competency at the center provide clarity about what it means to be a deep learner. One of the model under the deep learning framework here is the learning design model. The learning design model contain four elements as follow. Okay, the first element is pedagogical practices. Here, when we talk about pedagogical practices, the teachers are suggested to apply the proven pedagogical practices and innovative practices. For instance, the contemporary pedagogy such as inquiry, problem-based learning, co-design, learning partner, student agency, and so forth. Okay. The second element is learning partnership. Learning partnership. Nowadays, the teacher cannot work in silo. The teachers are suggested to cultivating learning partnership between and among students, uh, uh, among teachers, families, as well as communities. Then the third element is learning environment. The teachers are suggested to cultivating the collaborative culture in school, in the educational setting, either in school or beyond their classroom. Then the fourth element uh, is leveraging digital. When we discuss on leveraging digital, please bear in mind that the pedagogy is the driver. Digital is the accelerator. Leveraging digital accelerates access to knowledge beyond the classroom, cultivate student-driven learning, and foster collaboration. These four elements of learning design provide a process that make it easy for teachers, students, learners, and families to shift their thinking and practices. We also have, other than the learning design model, we also have three conditions for mobilizing deep learning and describe the condition needed to each level. The conditions are school, district, and system to foster innovation, growth and uh, culture of learning. Lastly, the uh, the the framework contain the. May I show you the okay. This is the deep learning framework. Okay. Uh, okay. Lastly, the collaborative the framework surrounded by collaborative inquiry cycle, meaning that the pedagogical capacity for deep learning is continuous improvement uh, process. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Very much, Dr. Hadi, for the very good explanation on how to overcome new pedagogies for deep learning, as you mentioned earlier. Okay, we go on to the third panelist for the second round, Madam Khariana Zainal Abidin. Yeah, you have mentioned some obstacles there, and then here is the time for you to discuss on the solutions which are possible to overcome those obstacles. Okay, thank you. Go on, Madam.
Thank you so much, Madam Norma, for sharing that, inshallah. So, this, hold on, can see my slides,
Yes, it's on there.
but it's not the, okay, I'll change it. Okay, right. I have discussed some of the main issue that Singapore teachers are facing and will be facing, inshallah. Uh, Now, let me discuss and share with you what are the solutions to overcome the issue discussed just now. Basically, again, I'm focusing on what Madrasa Al Junid did and what we will do, inshallah. And I'm looking into the short term and the long term solution in four areas: strengthening the teacher's profession, the infrastructure, support from governing bodies and school leaders, and also policy. Um, okay, um, let's look into the short term on the strengthening of teachers' profession. What Madrasa Al Junaid did was, within that short time, we decide to have a just-in-time learning, like what I mentioned earlier. But at the same time, we also decided to introduce mentoring. Mentoring the teachers who are more expert in ICT, for example, would mentor the senior teacher or the teacher who are less expert. That is in terms of strengthening the teacher's profession. Second, in terms of the infrastructure, during that time, it happened so fast for us to to be asked to do HBL, home-based learning. So we decided to loan Wi-Fi dongle even to our students because there are students at that time who doesn't have a strong internet at home. So these are the support in terms of infrastructure that Madrasa Arjun has given. And this also happens in the MOE schools in Singapore. And we also loan laptops from the madrasa itself. And for MOE school, this is the biggest change that they have to make because they have to loan a lot of laptops to especially the primary students who has to go through the HBL during that time. Probably Aljunaid is lucky enough because we have already started with a one-to-one device where all our students have an iPad with us for a period of about 6 years. We started 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So in terms of device, we are not so short-handed but it happens to schools in Singapore, especially the primary schools, where they don't even have laptops. So the ministry has to borrow or loan the laptops to them. That is one of the short terms that they have to do during that time. And under the support from governing bodies and also madrasa management, it is very important for the governing body to give, at that time, they give a one-off funding to support the needs for ICT. For example, they give us money for us to buy Wi-Fi dongle or extra laptops, a few extra, not all, a few extra laptops for us to loan to the students. And for madrasa management, we always check in on the well-being and progress of education and students. And trust me, during that time, that is the worst part that a principal has to go through, because they have to take care of school from home. That is totally up from our norm. And at the same time, when you come back to school, there is a lot of things that we need to manage, and we need to support the teachers, the students, and even our admin staff. So that are the very important short time areas and support that we have to give to during in solving the issues. Yeah. And finally, in terms of policies, what we did was, during that time, in any case, this is a rule shared by MOE, which is cascade down to our governing body. And for madrasas, our governing bodies are Majlis Ugama Islam Singapura. Yeah. So in any case, if students do not have a laptop or internet at home, so what we need to do is madrasa has to provide space and even teacher support in the madrasa itself or in the school itself. Means even though at that moment there's a period where COVID are very high, but teachers need to sacrifice somehow to be in school to support the students. So this is in terms of due to the policies that has been given by our ministry. So we have to do that. So that are part of the short term in order for us to assist and support our students in terms of this handling these new technologies. Yeah. And in terms of long term, I shall look into the four areas also. First of all, in strengthening the teachers' pedagogy. First of all, whatever we do in terms of teachers for profession, it always has to start with us, the teacher. So the teachers believe changing the teacher's mindset is most important. Teachers must first believe that whatever new issues or whatever new initiative that has to be done for the sake of the education has to be done by us. We have to believe in it. So it all starts with us, and always believe that teachers are the heart of education. If we are not there, there will be no students at all. See, and vice versa, in a sense that students are important to us, but we are actually the role, the soul for education. So it is very important for us to believe that whatever initiatives and new things that comes in future, it has to start with us. Yeah. And we have to long term, we have to start retraining. We have to start training the teachers in terms of the e-pedagogy, like what I mentioned earlier. We need to continue coaching and mentoring. And what my Aljunied did was, we want to create ICT champions, where these ICT champions are actually the coach or the mentor that are going to support the teachers in our madrasa, and that will actually make the teachers feel a bit more supported and helped, assisted, because it is their friends who are actually assisting them. And these ICT champions are among ourselves from the different departments. They have this expertise of ICT, and they will support it, the other teachers. And finally, in terms of strengthening teachers' profession, is the sharing of best practices through symposiums. So Aljunied started with the last symposium. We intend to do a 2 years once. Sharing of best practices, because we believe that teachers should be working and collaborating with each other. Teachers should be sharing their best practices in their own institutions with others, because all of us are educators. We have our strength that we can actually share. So this sharing of best practices via a platform of a symposium like this, where all the teachers share their classroom practices on ICT, or even the usage of new technology like Padlet, Kahoot, Mentimeter, so all these new things are being shared by teachers to teachers. Yeah. In terms of infrastructure, for Madrasah Junid, we do a quick revamp of our AP, our access for Wi-Fi for the whole school. So currently, the whole school, because we do have iPad also, the whole school is a Wi-Fi access. Yeah, students. Secondly, student own a device of iPad or laptop for MOE school. Now they have given all students have their own laptop. Yeah, learning management system for school. This is actually to allow online or e-learning. We should start thinking about in future that there will be learning management system where if anything happens, learning can happen at home. All your e-books can be uploaded, your homework can be uploaded. You can actually liaise with each other via that learning management systems. Okay. And finally, probably we would want to think about changing physical textbooks to be e-book, such that they can actually be accessed anywhere and easily accessed. Yeah. In terms of support from governing bodies and also madrasa management school leaders, fundings for the upgrade of infrastructure and trainings are very important. And the leaders in school has to keep motivating and sharing and comforting our teachers that all these challenges are worth for the sake of the students. And finally, in terms of policy for HBL or e-learning to be done at least twice a year. It's a policy already done by MOE, was in fact every 2 weeks once. For Madrasa Al-Junid particularly, we decide to do it at least twice a year, where students will stay at home, they will do e-learning and HBL. And for ICT implementation to be part of lesson pedagogy. This is a policy set by Madrasa Al-Junid, where the teachers need to implement or ICT initiative in their classroom, and they will be also assessed through their performance review. So these are the long-term solutions, and most important on top of that, students need also to be equipped with digital skills, and therefore it is very important for them to go through workshops to increase their potentials in digital competencies. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Hariana. You have shared very helpful solutions, which I believe uh, have been faced by everywhere, especially during a pandemic earlier, and then it goes on until currently. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Hariana, on sharing that. Yes, we have listened to solutions of the problem. There are many that has been mentioned. Some has been mentioned by Madam Marit Rosid, yeah, um, about what she thought would be possible to overcome one classroom for all. As she mentioned, a very idea, yeah, but in terms of practicing, yeah, it shows some weaknesses, and then of course that idea can also be taken because everywhere we know that the level of student in the classroom varies. Okay, and then what has mentioned by Dr. Hadi, he stressed on the six global competencies, citizenship, character, communication, creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking. That is the six C's. Yeah, and then national new pedagogies for deep learning. The solution has been mentioned by Dr. Hadi, ya, pedagogy kooperatif, inovatif, innovative and inquiry, ya, okay, learning, learning partnerships, yeah, and then learning environment that also be mentioned, need to be stressed there, and then all those, yeah, all those relate to uh, everywhere, I believe, yeah, because one way or the other, deep learning, yeah, should be implemented, yeah, all over countries, yeah, because it will enhance, yeah, it will enhance student-centered learning, and also pedagogical aspects. So yes, and as Madam Haryana mentioned earlier, the long-term solution and the short-term solution, which has been taken by her madrasah, and then she also mentioned overall in Singapore, yeah, because the problem not only happen in her madrasah, yeah, but happen everywhere in Singapore. And then by listening to the solution just now, yeah, we can take yeah, advantage of the proposed solution there in applying in our country. And next session is going to be question and answer session. Okay, question and answer session. We may have some questions. Yeah, we have a very talented panelist in front of us. Yeah, we don't want to lose the opportunity. Please, if there are any question related to what has been discussed, yeah, our panelists may give um better ideas or clearer ideas, yeah, in explaining what has been discussed earlier. Yes, please. Any question from our participants?
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good evening. My name is Aurina Sihar from, I'm a TESOL student from Institute of Teacher Education, SultanMizan campus. So my question is for Dr. Abdul Hadi from IPGK Ipoh. So my question is, how to ensure the use of digital technologies such as social media or apps can promote deep learning among students? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the question given there. Okay, maybe we accumulate other question before we let our panelists give the answers. Yes, please.
Okay, can you hear me? Yes, okay. Okay, hi to all the presenters, Madam Khairiana, Dr. Abdul Hadi, and Madam Mary Rosid. How are you all? Okay, I'm very glad to be here. Actually, I'm from Kias. Okay, I would like to ask Madam Mary Rossi about I really would like to know how can all the teachers and educators there um, teach at the deep rural areas there and apply technologies in their teaching and learning sessions. Do you have any kind of like supports, or you have any kind of like methods to teach the students there, especially when the people there do not have wide exposure to the technologies? And then what can the teachers and the educators do to blend with the technologies in the deep rural areas in Finland? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. We may have another question, please. Is there any other questions? And maybe the panelists, you may also impose question to other panelists. Perhaps they can give better explanation on what has been discussed. All right. If not, thank you very much for the question given. We may discuss the question here, and then perhaps the other panelists who has no question posed to you, you may give additional point after the panelists, the suggested panelists gave his or her answers. Okay, we go to the first question. Yeah, the first question asks how to ensure the use of digital technologies. Yeah, how to ensure the use of digital technologies when you discuss on deep learning previously. Yes, Doctor, this question meant to you, Dr. Abdul Hadi.
All right. Thank you, Madam Nova, and thanks to the student for the question. Okay, when we talk about the use of digital technologies, it sounds quite interesting when the teacher use the digital tools, digital technology in teaching and learning activities. However, when we talk about the deep learning achievement, the deep learning achievement is not automatically occurred by simply using the digital technology or digital tool or app and so forth. The teacher, in this case, the teachers need to carefully design the learning experience with the digital tools used and resources used based on a practical model or framework of learning. For instance, at present, we have the triple E framework, the triple E or 3E framework, as suggested by Liscott 2018. The triple E refers to engagement, enhancement, and extension. The implementation of triple E framework involves uh, four-step process as follows. First, uh, define uh, learning goals. That's why we need the teacher needs to or waivers about the teacher clarity. Then the second step of the process is select an appropriate technology tool. Maybe, as mentioned by Madam Karina, maybe the teacher can choose uh, the Kahoot, the uh, or whatever apps in the market. Or in Malaysia, we are very lucky because in Ministry of Education already provide the Dilemma. Dilemma is a platform, one of the platform that provide the powerful tools or apps that can be used as technology tools in teaching and learning. And for me, I, I would like to suggest all the teachers refer to our youth to the dilemma. Okay, and the third process is engage students with the tool by having them or to be active and social learners. And lastly, the fourth process is connect or extend what students are learning with real world tasks uh, and context or authentic learning tasks. And finally, to ensure the deep learning to achieve, among students. All the triple E, engagement, uh, engagement, enhancement, and extension must be occurred in teaching and learning processes. Okay. Uh, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Abdul Hadi, for a very good answer to make sure the use of digital technologies in learning. Okay, and then we go to second question. But before that, perhaps Madam Merit Rosid would like to give some additional uh, ideas or suggestion to what has been mentioned by Dr. Abdul Hadi or Madam Kariana.
Okay, thank you for the question. Um, when I started as a principal 24 years ago, I began to buy tablets to my school. And at the same time, the Lapland is maybe our deep rural area. Helsinki teacher area began to give online lessons. So we started to practice more than 20 years ago the teaching online, and there was a couple of classes who did it, and the practice was students in Lapland. So also the government had they programmed that during those years we should have about one computer to every 5 students, one computer to every 3 students. So when COVID happened, we actually every student almost have their computers, and we went over one night to online school. So we were lucky. I told that we have a common core over the whole country. Then we have the politicians are looking the whole education system in Finland, and they looked this over 20 years ago. So I think that's why we were so ready when the COVID happened. But now, after 2 years, when we are back in the school, the students are really happy to have face to face teaching, meet their friends. So remember that the computers, they are only tools. The real happening is with the class, with the students, and this is how they are happy to learn. In active learning, in deep learning, like you have heard today. So thank you for everybody. I think you have had a great opportunity to listen the real what are important, what we think in education from different part of my colleagues here.
Okay, thank you, Madam Rosid. The second, for the second questions, I believe the participant is asking on what has been done to the rural area of Finland. Is that the situation is similar to the urban area, or because we have not confirmed whether what you have there, yeah, all over the country.
We have it all over the country. Sorry if I wasn't clear. So
Okay,
everywhere is the same system,
the same
same
system,
curriculum, same system.
same supporting tools over there. Excuse me. Okay, thank you very much. Since that's the case, means that the second question given by our participant just now has been answered. Yeah, has been answered, inshallah. Okay, uh, now we go to the last session. Yeah, the last session where you are given some times to give some suggestion, some views, yeah, to the future. I means that to make sure that obstacles and solution that we have discussed earlier um, will benefited others around the world. Okay, so for the last round, I will give the opportunity to Dr. Hadi first to give your views or your final suggestion to the topic that we have discussed today. Yes, Doctor.
Uh, all right, thank you, Madam Norma. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a teacher educator. So my concern more on pedagogical aspect. Uh, when we talk about the challenge of teachers, I think the most challenge of teachers in shaping our future generation is, as I mentioned earlier, is about to achieve deep learning among students. The achievement of deep learning is, for me, the achievement of deep learning is important in order to prepare future-ready students. The implementation of uh, transformative pedagogies such as pedagogical capacity or new pedagogies for deep learning in teaching and learning is, I think, is a solution, the best solution to ensure deep learning among students, which in turn the future ready student. With that, thank you very much, madam. Back to you, madam.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Abdul Hadi. So we go to Madam Khairiana Zainal Abidin, yeah, to wrap up what we have discussed here in the concluding part. Please, Madam Khairiana.
Thank you so much, Madam Norma. I think it is very important for educators to remember that whatever we learned in theory in any education institution, um, it would only be it will only come true when you are in class or in school. It's the challenge is to implement whatever you have learned in theory into practical, and that is the most challenge. And it is very important also, I believe, with the right um, with the right nia, with the right objective and intention, with the right mindset of being wanting to be the best educator, whatever challenge that you will have in education, you will be able to overcome it because you believe that um, your student of charge will be benefiting from you fully uh, for and thus that will motivate you to give the best for your students and your institution. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Khairiana. Yeah, uh, I strong believe in that. Okay, and then we go to the last comment, last views or last suggestion from you, Madam Marit Rosid. Yes, go on.
I think that the teacher's job is the most important in the whole society. So, so you are giving the hope, you are giving your passion to your children, and I think the other part of the society they have to take care of more the families and their schools and teachers. It's like a balance between these all. But personally, you are the most important for the student. You are the way, what you open the way to the society and the world, and you give also the picture. What is your how you think about society, how you think about the humanity? You are reflecting, and you have to understand also the responsibility of yours. Thank you very much,
Okay, thank you
Mrs.
very
Norma.
much, Madam Merit Rosis, for the final views to our discussion today. Yes, much has been said, and then I believe that we have gained a lot from the discussion that we have, yeah, by looking at challenges, yeah, by looking at the solution that has been mentioned by our panelists. Yeah, we have gone through a very beneficial session today, and I believe not only for participant in front here, and also for the virtual participant who are participate and willing to be with us today. I, as the moderator, on behalf of the organizer, I would like to thank so much, especially for our panelists, which have given their strengths, their times to share with us, and then to audience on. Participant on the floor, and also to online audience, yeah, who spend times with us, and try to get as much out of our discussion today. So thanks a lot for the crew members, yeah, who has been with us so far and until the end of our program today. Yeah, hoping that inshallah, and hoping that God will, what we have discussed today, yeah, um, will give us opportunity to make teaching and learning better for our student, for our new generations in the future. So yes, again, thank you very much, Dr. Abdul Hadi. Thank you very much, Madam Khariana from Singapore, and then Madam Marit Roset, yeah, who I feel still tired but willing to be with us today, and sharing, yeah, and share with us a lot today. Thank you very much all.
Yeah, yeah, welcome.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and the participants also. Yeah, thank you very much. And then we are hoping that, as Madam Khoriana said earlier, yeah, one way to overcome or to get solution for the problem that we face here is sharing. Yeah, so hoping that in the future we will have some other opportunity, yeah, to share the current perhaps the current problems that we may face, yeah, in the future. Again, thanks a lot, yeah, thank you very much, and nice to have all of you
Okay, thank you.
with us today. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.